My name is Andrew Rome, and I run the marketing agency that helps generate millions of dollars in gross commission income every single year through Google. From EMAX agents to EXP to individual brokerages, we've worked with everything. Luxury, divorce listings, you name it. And this course is our step-by-step process that we spend ages perfecting and use to help small brokerages to bigger brokerages build their pipeline on Google. If you have ever thought about running Google ads, watch this until the end because we will spill literally everything. In this course, we'll go over the frameworks that we use, CANs, which is catch, amplify, nurture, and service. We will go over each individual part of that. We will catch, give you the exact catch ads, give you the amplify ads, give you the nurture, which is the back end sequence for all of that, and service, some just simple tips to get referrals, some back end things that you need to know. And with that being said, we're going to take up as little time as possible and let's hop straight in. All right, welcome to section 1 of the Google Ads course for real estate agents. So again, this is a full top to bottom course. And that means that we need to understand what goes on in each individual part. Okay? So this section is going to be dedicated to getting you to understand the framework that we will use throughout the course so that you're able to actually generate leads and close them. So let's dive in. The name of this framework is called CANs. And if you look in here, you'll see CANs Google Ads. Up there seems to be a slight mistypo here. CANs Google Ads, and I'll update all this. You will get more resources as we go. So everything that we create in this, I will have in this specific drive. So this framework here is called CANs, and it stands for catch, okay, amplify, nurture, and then service, okay? So what each of these parts for is if you think of a stereotypical funnel, if you're familiar with the term in real estate, I know this is more of a marketing term, but a funnel is basically when you have someone at the top of funnel that is someone who just met you, okay? The middle of funnel is someone who kind of knows you, they're getting to know you. That would be like you clicked on an ad and now you're seeing their ads all over. And then bottom funnel is they're ready to buy, they're ready to work with you. So this framework is a way inside of Google Ads to actually do that. And we break all of this down. We're systematizing that style and turning it into the new style, which is called an ecosystem. And again, I know it's a lot of terms, but what you need to understand basically is we're going to bring people in. That's the catch. We're going to get them to know us, get them to learn about us, get them familiar with us with the amplify. And we're going to nurture them. So after they trust us, we're going to get them to be ready to buy a house or sell a house. And then service is we're actually going to deliver. So let's break this down. We'll break it down with just a quick funnel example. So we'll go in here, we'll create a Google drawing. And we're just going to say CANs example funnel. Okay, so first off, what are we looking at? In CANs, we have 4 different sections. Again, catch, where they just got to know us. Amplify, where they're getting to know us, getting to trust us. Nurture, when they're getting ready to buy and sell. And then service is where we actually service them. We take them to open houses, we list their property on the MLS, all of that good jazz. So up here, we need to understand what is catch. So this is we get intent-based leads. These are buyers, these are sellers, and these are used with a basic Google simple search campaign. This is going to be the easiest thing to set up in the world, I promise. But basically, this is what you think of when you think of IDX leads, okay? Or leads that come from the MLS. So right here, we have intent-based leads, buyers and sellers, a simple search campaign, and it's basically just homes for sale. So when people are searching homes for sale in X or home valuation report, that's what this is. We bring them in with intent, okay? And what's oddly enough here is we're not actually trying to get them to convert. Now I'll explain that right here. So let's start by drawing a super simple funnel. So just get a triangle and let's turn it upside down. Okay, so what do we have here? This is our funnel. And we're going to break this down into a bunch of different sections. So again, we have the C, we have the A, we have the N, and then we have the S. So catch. It's going to be top. Where's we have this, turn this upside down. Okay. This here. Bring her in, close her up. Okay, so this section, cans is green, so we're gonna make this green here. So this is the catch. We're not gonna be able to type in it. So this is the catch section. And in the catch section, we're gonna run a simple Google Ads search campaign, okay? So a Google search campaign. And we'll get into that. If you look at the timestamps of the video, you can fast forward to setting up your simple search campaign. So again, this is people searching for homes for sale, or home valuation, or sell home fast, okay? That is what we bring people in for. So again, a Google search campaign for homes for sale, a home valuation, and a sell home fast. So this is where we're going to get the top of funnel leads. And here's the weird part, okay? What we're not gonna do is we're not gonna convert. So we do not convert leads here. Why? Okay, as a real estate agent, you get it. Time is precious. You only have so many hours in the day that you can show houses, so many hours in the day that you can list houses, so many hours in the day that you can follow up with leads. So the easiest way to get around this is we need leads with high intent and that are actually ready to work with a real estate agent. So how we do this is we bring people in with the Google search campaigns, homes for sale, home valuation, sell home fast. And while they can convert, it is possible, we do not push them to convert, okay? We're not actually trying to get a lead. What we want here is we want to pixel them. Okay, and what that means is the Google Ads account, what's actually gonna happen is it takes their computer and it registers them. It says they're looking for homes for sale, they're trying to get a valuation on their home, or they are trying to sell their home fast, okay? So our goal here is to run a Google search campaign and then to pixel them into the ads account. And again, I'm gonna explain how to set all of that up in the Google search campaign settings and how we're actually going to do that using the CANS framework and then this Amplify section. Okay, so again, first part, bring them in, homes for sale, home valuation, sell home fast, pixel them into the account. Simple as that. Next step is the Amplify. So this is where we run retargeting ads. So this will also feed off of all of your organic content. If you are doing Instagram, if you are doing Facebook, if you're doing any sort of social media, if you're doing search engine optimization, this is where you will catch them as well. It'll make your website itself super, super sticky. So once they're pixeled in, what a retargeting ad does, what this does, so retargeting, is now that they've been on the website, they start getting these ads. So for the next 30 or 60 days, depending on how you set it up, they will get these ads. And the ads are gonna say something along the lines of find your real estate agent match. Basically, what we're trying to say is find your realtor. We already know that they have intent to buy or sell a home. So we just need to match them with a realtor. Think about it this way. You have someone who is looking to buy or sell, and they requested to work with a realtor. Your job to convert that lead is going to be super, super easy. And the craziest part is that we can get these leads, I've seen, again, depending on the market, this is very contextual, for as little as $14. I'd say benchmark is around 60 to 70 bucks for any of these leads. But what ends up happening is they're super high intent leads. They're ready to work with you because they asked to work with a realtor. So they've gotten to know you, okay? Search campaign, now they're browsing on your website. They've requested a home valuation from your website. Now, for the next 30 days, they have been browsing your website looking. They have gotten the trust in you. They know who you are. Now they're like, hey, I'm ready to work with a realtor. I'm ready to work with a real estate agent. That's what this Amplify section does. Okay, so how do we pull this off? Well, copy this, put her down here. Just gonna line this up here. Okay, and then what color did we make it? These are blue. Okay, so right here, what we want to know is we run retargeting ads, performance max ads, okay? So this right here is the important part. And the copy, or what the ads are basically going to say, is something along the lines of find your agent match, find a local agent, find your realtor, okay? Something along those lines. These are what these ads are for, okay? And the point of this one is to actually convert the leads. So convert leads here. And on this part, you want an intense lead form, okay? Again, intense. It needs to be super in-depth. So I'll give you a really good example, tangible example. So this is the Conrad app. They are a lead gen company that we work with. And at the bottom, we have this lead form. So get matched to a local expert in just 2 minutes. So if I click buying, in 2 months, we get desired location. So we'll say Chicago, Illinois, condo. We select our price range. I'm going to say this, are we pre-approved? And then we can get first name, last name, email address, and phone number. So as you can see, these leads are super high intent. They are ready to work with an agent, okay? And that's what you want. So that's the retargeting PMax ads are. Again, retargeting is once they come in here, so just kind of recap, they come in for the Google search campaign. So they've started browsing homes for sale. They ask for home valuation, or they're looking to sell your home. Now they start seeing you all over, see your face, they see your brand. That basically just says, hey, if you're looking for a real estate agent or you're looking to find a realtor, click here and we will match you with one. And so now they've been doing this for probably 30 to 60 days. And they're ready to potentially move on. Again, leads are going to be more expensive than just an IDX lead. Like this isn't a $5, $10 lead, okay? This is a high quality lead that's going to convert. Okay. Now the next step, we're still not done, don't worry, is we need to take these leads and actually convert them. So this is the nurture section. So here, this is nurture. So this is our follow-up engine. So the email and SMS workflows, the phone call to essentially converting. And in this, this is orange. Oh. So in this section, it is extremely important that we nurture properly. This is where I would say most agents actually burn leads. So I've worked with a ton of agents. I've gotten a ton of leads over the years. And the biggest problem that I see is agents who are too pushy, who are like, dude, just like buy a house already or just sell already, okay? Amy Stockberger said the best, it's commission breath. You as an agent do not want commission breath, okay? You are trying to help. So the framework that I like to use here is what's called gap selling. So again, we're gonna give you all of the automations, but what I like to use here is called gap selling, okay? And this is basically where you take the gap. So you bring someone from where they are to where they want to be. And especially in real estate, this is super, super important. So if we look here, we have a follow-up, we do email and SMS workflows within the first 5 minutes, and then we have a phone call. And the entire point of these SMS, these workflows, is to prompt them, hey, you're here. We want to know where you want to get with this house. What is the point? Why are you trying to get here? And what is happening here is you're not going to burn the leads. They're going to start trusting you more because you need to know more information before you can service them. The other thing is it creates a better client system. So you're going to end up getting more referrals. On the back end, you're going to end up getting more people to help you. And I know this is just, it seems like a lot of overkill, but I promise you, you will like this. So again, this is where we gap sell. And our job is to, how can I help you get from A to Z? So gap selling. From where they are, where they want to be. And your job is to show that gap and how this house or buying a house or selling a house, again, I'm just using buyer terms just because that's stuck in my head right now. But how can you, as the agent, help them get from A to Z? Okay, so this right here, again, this is the nurture. We're following up with them. We're getting them to understand where they are to where they want to be. Okay, perfect. The next step is service. And again, this is the easiest step of cans, okay? You deliver what you promise. If you are writing something in this ad, right here, we can help you find a mortgage officer with you. We are one of the fastest response rates teams in the Dakotas or whatever, okay? You need to back it up in service. And the reason this is super, super important is because if you do not back up your claims with facts, with truth, people will not, and I repeat, will not bring you referrals. They will not come back. And the biggest thing in real estate, as much as I want to say ads are magical, they can build your business. They can. I think we're going to turn people in. The biggest thing that builds your business is referrals. Period. End of story. I don't care. Okay? I don't give a shit. If you are not getting referrals and you are a real estate agent, you need to think about something. You need to figure out how can every one of my clients bring me one or two other clients? All of them. Because that makes all of this cheaper. Okay? So, on top of everything, you need good service. So, again, let's recap. So at the top, we have a Google search campaign. This is homes for sale, home valuations, and sell your home fast. We don't convert the leads here. We pixel them into the Google Ads account. Then we run retargeting Performance Max ads. You find your agent match, find a local real estate agent, find a realtor. You convert the leads with an intense lead form. Again, the example is the Conrad app. Gap selling. So where are they to where they want to be in the follow-up. So we're just trying to figure out, again, in the follow-up, piece together where they are to where they want to be. And right here, they've hand raised, they're potentially looking to work with a real estate agent. Okay, so that is the CANS framework high-level overview. That is where we need to be, and we are going to go straight into the catch. So we're actually going to start setting up your search campaign in the Google Ads account so we can just walk you through it. All right, let's hop in. Okay, so we're now onto the catch section, the CANS section of the Google Ads course. So we already went over what does each section mean. CANS is catch, so intent-based buyers and seller leads through a Google search campaign. Now, what we're going to do in this section is we're going to set up the simple search campaign, all of that, basic overview of conversion tracking. I'm going to be honest, it is different for everyone, and so I will highly recommend you just look up a video for whatever content management system you're using. That can be KV Core, that can be Real Geeks, all that good jazz, so we will get into that in a second. So basically, we're just going to set up the search campaign. Why do we convert the leads? Set up essentially tracking, pixels, all of that good jazz. And why are they intent-based buyers and seller leads? Okay, so if you go here, we have the Google Drive, we have these CANS Google Ads. So you will have this folder here for you. And again, we're creating resources as we go along, just that you have them. What I want you to do is go in the description below, just fill out your email. Basically, so that we can send you this drive link so that you have it. And then what I want you to do is go in and open this Google Ads cheat sheet. So in here, we're going to see a couple different, we have a dashboard and we have catch ads and we have amplify ads. So for now, I want you to go to catch ads. Again, this is just a super simple cheat sheet. And in here, we have everything we need for all of the individual ads. Okay? So for today's instance, we're going to need to pick someone. Who are we sampling? So I want you to first, we're going to go to Visions First Realty. We're in Washburn, Wisconsin. We're just going to set up simple search ads for them. So this right here, this is what we're going for. Again, we're going to ignore this for now. But this is their website. What are we looking at? How are we setting everything up? Again, it's just a super simple iHouse web website. Nothing crazy. But we're going to be setting up these ads for them. So the first thing that we need to do to actually set up these ads is to set up a Google Ads account. So I want you to go to ads.google.com. ads.google.com. And what you're going to want to do is just click sign in. You need to create a new Google Ads account. And you can see I've just been testing a bunch. So we're just going to create a new one. So we need to create our first campaign. So this, we're going to do Visions First Realty. And we need the website. Next. So this first part, we're basically just going to go through, tell them that we have everything. Basically just get, like Google, get a synopsis of the business. And we can just skip all this. But it's going to force us to set up a Google Ads account. So again, we're just going to skip through all of this. We can skip again and skip again. Yes, leave campaign creation. Billing country, United States. Whatever. For this instance, we're going to use New York time, so Eastern Standard Time, US dollar. Okay, so now what it's going to do is it's just going to confirm what card do we want to use on the account. Set up your payment method, set up everything in here. Again, it's already set up for me, so you don't have to worry about it, but just know that. So again, I highly recommend hitting no on the personal guidance. Otherwise, I get calls from Google way too often. I hit yes once or twice on accident, and they call you a lot. So I would personally hit no if you are somewhat familiar with Google Ads, but you can hit yes if you want. God damn it, I hate my life. Okay, so now it's basically just going to tell you about the organization. So right now you want to hit no. And in this case, we're going to hit no as well. Yes, we pay for Google Ads directly. And click Save and Continue. This is basically just regulation purposes to ensure that everyone's compliant with Google Ads. So again, Visa, everything is set up. So basically what's going to end up happening after you get through all of that is you're going to land on either this is option one, or you're going to end up on a smart campaign, or essentially like easy mode for Google Ads. So if you do end up on essentially, it's called, I can't remember the exact name, but basically smart mode, I believe is what it's called. You're going to have a little wrench icon here. You need to click that and then switch to expert mode. So let me just switch to expert mode, Google Ads. So if I go in here, I'll just show you this one. Show you kind of what it looks like. So if you're in here, it's going to be this little setting right here where it says settings. And then I think he actually does it he does this in the video. You're going to get a little drop down here, switch to expert mode. And you just need to go through, you need to switch to expert mode. Once you switch to expert mode, you will show up on this page. This is what expert mode looks like, okay? So again, this is what expert mode looks like on your Google Ads. I need you to get to this point. Okay, now that we're here, we actually need to create the campaign that we are going to do the Google Ads in, if that makes any sense. So, as we can see here, we have the headlines. For the campaign, we have the descriptions, we have the callouts, we have the site links, and we have keywords to search for. Negative keywords, site links, negative locations, all of that is in here. Now, here's what we actually need to do first. We need to understand what are the keywords in our market that people are searching for when we create this search campaign. So that's essentially, when someone searches on Google, they type something in, okay? We need to figure out what that is so that we can tell Google Ads, hey, I need you to show up for this, okay? So when we type something in, like if we type homes for sale, again, in this case, it would be like Ashland, Wisconsin. We want to show up for that keyword. So we need to figure out what are people actually looking for. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to make a copy. Google Ads cheat sheet. Example. All right. Okay, now we're in here. So we can edit everything. So our city is going to be Ashland, Wisconsin. That's going to be what we're set this up for. And just for context here, you're going to need to go back through and copy this for all of your cities, every single city that you service. This is extremely important because this is how you get everyone into the system. This is probably the most tedious part of this entire thing. So I need you to understand this is what you need to do. Again, for this instance, we're just going to do Ashland, and then I'll let you guys rinse and repeat. But for now, we'll just continue. So again, I said city Ashland, targeted URL, and we'll grab that in a second. Display path, I'm just going to say /Ashland. So targeted URL, what do I mean? On your website, you should have, again, already set up a bunch of different communities. This is just assuming your website is set up properly. KV Core does this automatically. If you go into settings, basically what cities do I service? Real Geeks does it, Sierra Interactive, all of these major companies do this already. If your website does not have that, that isn't a problem. You'll just need to create some. If your website developer can't do it, shoot me a DM. I know 1,000 that could do it, and I'm happy to help out. But for your website, you need to figure out what these pages are, and we're just going to need to copy it. So another good example of this, I think we go to one. We'll do Legendary Real Estate Services. I'll give it a second to load. So in here, again, we can just do, if you scroll down to the bottom, we're going to get all of these different sections, all these different places. So they're servicing, say, East Troy, Wisconsin. Again, East Troy homes for sale. Boom. Aggregate of all the homes for sale in East Troy. So that's what you're going to want to do. That's what Ashland Homes is. You can grab that here. And it's okay if you have some of this as well. Don't worry about it. It's not the end of the world. Actually, it can help sometimes. So go in here, paste the targeted URL. Boom. Good to go. Now what I want you to do is type in homes for sale. And I just want you to replace city and state with all of these different areas. So in this case, we're going to do Ashland, Wisconsin. And I'm just going to copy Ashland. Okay. Then how many homes are on the market? So just going to quick take a look. 53 are homes for sale. Let me close these for a sec. So 53 homes on market. And this doesn't need to be dynamic. I just want to make that clear. We can grab some social proof. So how many 5-star ratings do they have? And I pulled this up here. 43. 43. I'll just say 40 plus. And I don't know how many transactions, so we're just going to say 300 for now. Again, just keep it in mind, and I'm going to need you to go through all of these again. And it's important that we get everything in here, okay? So the reason, I just want to give context here, all of these ads you can copy and paste, okay? If you want to go to ChatGPT, say, hey, I need you to adjust this for Ashland, Wisconsin, boom, done. Feel free to do it. No worries. I'm just doing this manually to show you. We'll go over this in a second as well. Keywords here. So now what we need to do, once we have this part filled out, is we need to figure out what keywords are we looking for. Okay, so I'm going to go through, and I'm going to go through Ashland again. And this is actually the easy part. I'm going to be honest with you. So what we're going to do is we're just going to grab all of the keywords associated with it, and we're going to copy and paste them into what is called Google Keyword Planner. Again, Google Keyword Planner. And what that's going to do is it's going to give us a list of all of the keywords that are even remotely associated with this. Okay? And then we're going to take those and we're going to paste them into our Google Ads campaign. Okay? And we're going to use what's called phrase match. So copy the keywords. I'm going to go in here. I want you to follow me step by step. So if you go into Tools, then we go to Planning, and we go to Keyword Planner. Again, Tools, Planning, Keyword Planner. Go in here. Click Discover New Keywords, and I just want you to paste all of those in. So limit of 10, so we'll just cut a few. There we go. Perfect. We have 10 keywords, and click Get Results. So here's what it's going to do. We have 2,000 and that's a lot of keywords. So what we want to do is we basically just want to filter through what are all of the keywords that are useful to us. So did we miss any? Potentially, okay? So just look through houses for sale, Wisconsin. Nope, we want to be more specific because that could be anyone in Wisconsin. okay? Land for sale, Wisconsin, again. House for sale, Madison, again, not useful. Oshkosh, Lake Geneva, homes for sale Janesville, homes for sale, Milwaukee, Sheboygan, Kenosha. So I'm just going to do a quick browse. I'm just going to Control F for Ashland. Okay, Ashland, Oregon. Nope. Ashland, Oregon. Ashland Real Estate. That one could be one. Okay, so it didn't look like we missed too many. And if you don't have all of them, just go through 500. Add a bunch. 27. Okay. So we got 6 more. Ashland, Oregon, Ashland, Oregon, Ashland, Oregon, Ashland, Wisconsin, Zillow. We can bid on that keyword as well, so we can grab that. We'll just copy paste it. Go back here. We'll add it down at the bottom. Houses for sale. Copy that. In here. I'm just going to go through and do this a bunch of times. Perfect. Looks like we have one more. Okay, so we can just assume we got all the keywords. I would highly recommend just going through all of them, basically all the pages, to see if you missed any, all of that good jazz. But basically, you just want a list of keywords that are specific to that area. So Ashland homes for sale, Ashland houses for sale, or anything adjacent to that. Okay. Now we have the sheet ready to go, almost. We just need the site link. So you have 2 options here. You can do basically homes for sale, duplexes for sale, new homes for sale in the city that you are selecting. So in this case, it would be Ashland. So Ashland homes for sale, Ashland duplexes, Ashland condos, Ashland new homes. Or we can do close cities or different service areas. So you could do Washburn homes for sale. What are some of his other main areas, communities? Bayfield homes for sale, Douglas County homes for sale, Superior homes for sale. So you can do all that. So in this case, let's quick go through it, and we'll do Washburn. We did Ashland, Bayfield, Washburn, Bayfield. We'll do Iron River and then Superior. And Superior homes for sale. Okay? And again, we're just going to want to do the same. So MLS feed, city, homes for sale, Washburn. And so you'll just go through all of these, and then we're going to copy and paste each of those links. So if you look, it's the exact same that we did before. So it is this link. It's the same here, okay? And we're just going to add those links. And once we are done with that, we have the ads outlined, okay? That means that we can basically just go into the Google Ads, and all we have to do is copy and paste. So we don't actually have to do any work. We already outlined it here, and I'll walk you through that entire process as well. All right, copy, paste. So communities, I'm just going to go Bayfield, copy link address, field of second, so paste that in there. Washburn, Iron River. And Superior. Okay. Now the cheat sheet is squared away. So we are good to go on this. What we now want to do is we want to go over to Google Ads. Again, we can ignore Keyword Planner. We're done here. What I need you to go to is Campaigns, Overviews. In here, you can click New Campaign, or you can click Create here. I just want to give you the options. So you can click Create. You can click New Campaign here. You can also go to Campaigns. You can hit New Campaign right here. This is the person I like. I just like to click Create Campaign. So again, we're going to click Create Campaign. So again, we need to Visions First Realty. And then we need to give it a website. Perfect. Click next. So this is where most people go wrong. So most people assume that you want leads on this part. This seems counterintuitive, but I've found just kind of anecdotally with what we run as ads, we get better results when we just go for website traffic, when we go for clicks, and then we do a search campaign. This is purely for top of funnel. I want to make this like super clear. In literally every single other context, okay? Optimizing for leads or sales is better. There's virtually no reason you should be running website traffic if you can set up conversion tracking, okay? But if you are running this specific framework, we will use clicks. We are going to optimize to get clicks as cheap as humanly possible at the top. Okay, now that's said and done, so we have website traffic and we have search. I'm gonna wanna go down here. Select the ways you like to reach a goal, perfect. And this campaign, we are just going to call it the catch campaign. Catch or search campaign, okay? Then select the ways you like to reach your goal. And right here, we're going to want to put the Ashland Homes for sale. Pretty convenient. And click continue. Oh, page view, yep. Catch, search campaign, turn on advanced conversion. So this, again, agree and continue. All that's good. Okay, so conversions, what do you want to focus on? Conversions, and again, in this case, this is the only case that I will recommend hitting clicks, and I want to hammer that in. Conversions, if you are setting up your ads, are basically always better. Period, end of story. Okay, now click next. So right here, I like to leave it on both. Doesn't really matter. I guess it kind of does. Just leave it on both for now. Select locations for this campaign. So this is what we have in here. We have the Google Ads cheat sheet. So we have negative locations. We want to just bid on the United States, okay? And we want to go from here, and we can do presence or presence and interest, okay? So what that means is we can do United States, presence or interest, perfect. Or we can do just presence and just do United States. So if you're doing presence or interest, it's very important that you go through each of these sections, and each of these locations are considered negative. So we go India, exclude, okay? So we'll add United States first. States, country, include. All of these, so we'll just go through India, Pakistan. So why is this important? Because what happens is a lot of these countries have bot farms. And what will end up happening is if you don't do this, you'll get a lot of false clicks on your ads. And what will end up happening is you'll start getting a lot of bots. And I don't know about you, but I really, really passionately hate bots. The one that you'll see the most common is the WhatsApp scammers. Basically, hey, like, I saw blah, 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 on your website. Can you shoot me a message on WhatsApp? I'm looking to buy a home, 5 kids or whatever. Again, ignore the WhatsApp scams. They're complete bogus. So go through, add all of the excluded locations, add the United States as a country. Now you're good to go. Presence or interest. Languages, English, easy as pie. So broad match keywords. And what you want to do is you want to do off, so use keyword match types. Because what we're going to end up doing is we're going to switch them to what are called phrase match. Broad match means anything even remotely related to it can bring in. So if someone looks Wisconsin homes for sale, your ads can show up with Ashland. Okay? What you want to do is you want phrase match. So if they're searching something along the phrase of it, is the best way to explain it. So like Ashland homes for sale, that's what will show up. Or Ashland houses for sale, Ashland houses, something like that, okay? So it's very important that you switch these to phrase match. Now click next. keywords. This you want to skip. What'll happen here is it'll start automatically generating, and we already have the ads created. So just ignore that, click skip. Now this is where we need to enter the keywords. So we already have all the keywords here. We just need to copy them here. Control C, paste. Boom, done. I'm gonna remove the quote here. And we're gonna switch these all to phrase match in a second, but for now, we're just gonna leave them here. Okay, so again, phrase match, we just do the quotes. So if I add quotes, all of these are phrase matched. So we'll just go through, or I'll show you how to do it on the back end as well. So if you want, you can go in and add quotes and they'll all be phrase matched. If not, no worries. So Ashland Homes for sale, just copy and paste Ashland Homes again. I just like to do it to double check. Ashland Homes, boom, good to go. And I just like to do Ashland for display path. So I'll say visionsfirstrealty.com/Ashland. Welcome to Ashland, Wisconsin. Okay. Okay, so now what are we gonna do? Now we need to copy and paste the headlines. So headlines here, we have these three. And I want you to copy these. And you see this little pin here? I want you to click show only in position 1. Okay. So that's what this little number is here. So this is 111, 222, 333. So each of these, I just need you to pin them in each section. Okay. This is basically the industry standard. This is what everyone does, at least from what I can tell. So basically everyone pins them. You don't have to anymore. I still do. But Google will actually optimize the ads as much as humanly possible. So they'll just start appearing in the positions that's best. And the psychology here for why each of these are in different sections is we want one of each of these to show up at any given point. Now the question is why? The answer is actually quite simple. So each of these hit a different point. So the first part is homes for sale. So it's exactly what they're looking for. The next one is telling them a little bit more information about what they're looking for. So they're getting more in-depth information. And the last one is social proof. Okay? So it's telling them, hey, you can trust this source. So that's what you do for headlines, copy, paste. And we need to do the exact same for descriptions. So we have 3 descriptions here. Paste, and we don't need to pin these descriptions at all. I just want to make that clear. So we don't pin descriptions. All right, pasted all that. Descriptions are done. Now we're on to site links. So we have all of the site links in here. Handy dandy done. Okay, site link options number 2, all done here. All right, so we're gonna do Washburn Homes, add a site link. Just gonna go in. Oh, that's the wrong one. MLS feed Washburn. And we're just going to go through all of these. Okay, so Washburn Homes, Bayfield Homes, Iron River Homes, and Superior Homes. Click Create here. Now we're on to callouts. So in here, we have all of our callouts here. We have 4 callouts: quick closings, exclusive listings, free home valuation, and trusted local experts. And again, just double check that all of these are accurate for you as you put them in. and paste. Call it's done, saved, click apply. Okay, call it's done, that's done. And in more asset types, we can add call it's here, sorry, call your number here. So feel free to add that. If you look in here, you also have structured snippets. Maybe I removed them, but you can also add structured snippets. They're basically the same thing. Don't worry about it. So I would potentially go in and add structured snippets and call if you really want to amplify your ads to the next level. Okay. So now we are done with ads. We can click done, click next. We have to set a daily budget. So this is actually important. And we want to figure out kind of where we are. And I'll show you how to actually figure out how to set a budget at the end. So for now, we'll just pick a daily budget. We'll just set like $10 or something. Okay. Next. All right. We just review errors and then click publish. So what this is going to want us to do is it's going to want to set up a Google tag. So the Google tag, once this is set up, we don't have to worry about it. But the Google tag is what allows us to actually pixel people in. So if I go here, I go to conversions, I go to summary, new conversion action. So we're going to want to set up conversion tracking. And we can do websites, online clicks, sign up forms. And I want you to click here, scan. So I just want to make this clear. Every single, essentially, content management system is different. How you set this up. So I'm not going to go over it in this video. Okay? Just want to make that very clear. I'm not going to go over that in this video. So how I recommend you figuring out how to do it yourself, how to install a pixel, a Google Pixel. You can find it on basically anywhere. So just go to Google, type how to set up conversion tracking. We'll say KV Core or Bold Trail. So in here, how to set up Google Ads conversion tracking KV Core. I'll just see what's Bold Trail say. Bold Trail. So pay-per-click, create a conversion action in your Google Ads account, add the Google tag to your website using either Google Tags Manager or directly in the site's header and footer, and ensure the tag is firing correctly on conversion events. Okay. So you can go in, there's a YouTube video, updated Google Ads tracking conversion tracking tutorial. So all of that, I just recommend Googling it. I'm sure you can find one for CR Interactive too, or any of the other ones. Yeah, install your Google tag for Real Geeks. You'll just need to do a little bit of digging. I'm not going to make any recommendations because there are 1,000 different ones, but you're going to need to set up conversion tracking. And with the conversion tracking, you're going to set up a Google Pixel. And then from there, I will show you what to do next. So with that being said, this is the can section. We just finished the catch of cans. So we finished setting up the Google search campaign, and we are going to convert them and pixel them. We need to set up, the Google tag first. But you'll need to figure out how to do that because there's 1,000 different ones. But we're not going to convert the leads. We're going to pixel them into the Google Ads account. Catch is done, and I will see you in the Amplify section. Okay, so we are now onto the catch ads, and this is by far the hardest part of this course, to be honest. The seller ads, especially if you just walk through it one by one, each button, every click, you can get that pretty easy. If you're not super familiar with Google Ads or familiar how ads and marketing works, this is going to be a little bit difficult. However, I'm going to walk you through step by step. I'm going to get way more granular than I did with the essentially simple search ads. And I'm going to teach you every little bit. Copy, paste, everything. So with that being said, the first step in the catch ads is what's called a landing page. So I first want to explain what a landing page is versus something, say, a squeeze page, if you're familiar with the term. So when someone says squeeze page, they mean something, sorry, this is the squeeze page, something like this. Basically, you land on it and you're ready to submit yourself as a lead. So this is Conrad, again, a different client, but you get matched to a local expert and you can go through the form. Okay. So this right here, this is a great example of a squeeze page. What we're going to be building is what's called a landing page, where we have a bunch of things above it. And I am going to break down the anatomy of this real quick and why each part works and why we have it. So In here in the cans, I have added a landing page anatomy. And in this first section is we have a hero section. So this is small social proof, a headline, a call to action. And I just want to preface this. You will need to create it yourself in your website. Okay. So if you're in KV Core, again, they call everything squeeze pages for some reason. I can't remember what it is in CR Interactive, but depending on what your website is built on, you will need to create this page. If you have a website developer, shoot them a message, send them this, say this is what you're looking for, and most of them will be able to whip it up within a day. So what I want you to do is I want you to create this landing page. And again, we're going to walk through the anatomy step by step. So the first step is what's called the hero section. This is where we have a small social proof, a headline, and a call to action. And that's this. So social proof, joined 5,600 finding their dream real estate match, a headline. This one, they added a description and then a call to action. So a call to action is essentially just a button to bring us down here. Okay. And you can do that with what's called anchor text. If you're not familiar with it, just look it up. But this button should bring you to the lead form. Okay. So if we go back, pretty simple hero section, and this headline needs to match with whatever ad you're running. So I'll give you a good example. This one is about affordability. Okay. So if the affordability is the ad that you're running, think you're priced out again in the market, think again. So you want to use one of the headlines that you will create later on. And again, I'll explain pain points in a second, but you'll need a headline here. You'll need a description. What are others saying? So this is a reviews section. See what people are saying. Just simple, a few reviews of people using your service or essentially working with you. If you don't have one, the easiest is just go to Google. So we were using before, Visions First. Even if you haven't set it up, you will most likely have a profile and you can see reviews on here. Again, Zillow reviews work, basically you name it, but for those that are newer, that works as well. So just essentially grab those, put them onto the website. Then we have a section called pain point. And basically this is going to talk to whatever pain point they have. So again, sick of agents looking for the next paycheck, counteract connects with agents who actually look out for your best interest. No more just buy, no more just sell, no more pushing. Okay. So right here, it's basically saying, hey, we hear you. That's what you want to say in this section. Something along the lines of, I say affordability. Think you're priced out of a home? Think again. We help, say, first-time home buyers, and use this basically word for word. We help, say, first-time home buyers get their first home with creative financing. Solved. Right there. That's perfect. We help so-and-so achieve X. Okay? We help so-and-so achieve X. And that's exactly what you want to put here. Then you have the second section, which is story-led. And this one isn't story-led. I'll explain why we want to do a story-led here. And this one needs to be updated. But what you want to do is the same thing here. But then at the bottom, we helped, say, like Samantha get her first home. So it's literally just an example of what you put here. And if you can, essentially a video testimonial, or basically everyone takes pictures with them and the keys. So that is perfect for that. Okay, so just take a picture with, again, like in this case, example, Samantha, you and her holding up keys, or someone in the brokerage holding up the keys, and say, meet Samantha, or whatever you want to put here. And then we help Samantha do this, like literally word for word. Okay. And then we want to do a how it works. So teach us about your goals. What would you like to buy, sell? Why would you like to buy or sell? So this right here is a confirmation bias. So it's reframing, okay? When you submit a lead form, or when you're submitting phone number, email, all of that to someone, it's scary, right? Like you don't want to give them like any information. You want to withhold as much as possible. In this case, it reframes it. It confirms that you're going to do it. And it tells you, hey, we need this because we want to help you. So now you get reciprocity as well. Then we will connect you with the perfect agent, one that fits your needs. And again, if you're just a singular agent, we will help. Again, you don't have to use connect, but you can use something along the lines of, we will help you. So one that fits your needs and is willing to help you throughout the process. No commission breath, no pushiness to buy or sell. Now, if you're not ready, no one left on red. Easy enough. Breathe. As an agent helps you through your journey, find the home of your dreams, sell your home without worrying about losing. So those are steps: teach, connect, breathe. And you don't have to use that exactly, but basically just a step-by-step process of what you're going to do to help them. Just a really simple example. And this one always has to be the teach us about your goals. Just to clarify. Then we'll have social proof part 2. So in this case, they're using We Help Connect with top professionals and brokerages across the nation. They're a lead gen company, just for context here. Basically Mortgage, Nexa, Compass, EXP, Douglas. You get the idea. So all these here. Social proof 2. And then it'll finally come to the lead form. And in here, we have the lead form on the right. And then on the left side, we have more social proof and a little bit more information. And realistically, you just need the social proof. You don't need more information. But it'll help improve conversions and get more people to go through the form. Okay. Then for the lead form, these are the bare minimums that you need on it. Are they a buyer or seller, location, name, phone number, email, timeline, and an additional message? The bare minimum. You can add more. I highly recommend adding more, quite honestly. Some really good ones for specifically sellers is, what are you looking to get out of your home? How much are you looking to sell for? Another really good one for buyers is like bedrooms, beds. Basically get as much information as you can while keeping it as lean as possible, as few questions, if that makes sense. Okay, so we're now on to actually creating the Amplify ads, assuming your landing page is done, and it should look a little something like this. Okay. So again, we're just using a sample ad account for Visions First, but we're just going to use this landing page because, well, that's what we used. So if we come here, I ran the ads for a couple days, so hence t-shirt change, all that good jazz. But so as you can see, we have some clicks. So we have some people, 114. And what I want you to understand is we need to run what are called retargeting ads. That's what this is. So this is considered a retargeting ad. Once someone clicks on the search ad, so someone's already searching for homes for sale, now on the back end, you can call, they're basically just getting these retargeting ads. You can get a super low cost per click here as well. And what'll happen is they'll click it and they'll be, oh, yeah, I was on their website. I'll see if I can work with one of their realtors. That's kind of the idea here, is we're building rapport and we're building essentially an ads ecosystem model. And so right now, as you can see, we had a 44 cents cost per click. And you'll see this a lot. Cost per clicks will decline as time goes on. And quite frankly, cost per lead will decline as time goes on, which is good, right? You want your cost per lead to go down. And so you have to understand, the first week that you run the ads as well, you'll have the highest cost per lead that you will basically ever get. Okay. So first off, what are we looking to do when we first create the ad? We can go in here, we can click create a new ad, but we're not going to, not yet. We want to first go into, tools, shared library. Again, tools and then shared library. And we want to go to audience manager. Okay, so tools, shared library, audience manager. And in here, we're going to need to create an audience. So basically what an audience is it's a group of people. And this allows you to do something dynamic in the ads. So as you can see, Google engaged audiences. This is the default one that Google creates for everyone. If you want to create your own, go to create new, name your audience segment. You can name it like retargeting or whatever, visitors, and then you can adjust the timeline. So we're going to use the default one for this instance, but I'll walk you through this anyways. So we could say retargeting, customer type, doesn't matter, visitors of web pages, and we'll say in the last 30 days, or we can do in the last 60 or 90 days. I would say standard is 30 or 60 if you really want to go that far. So I would do 30, and you can do prefill, add segment. So one of the other things you can do is you can add an action. So what this allows you to do is, let's say someone already submitted themselves as a lead, or you have a thank you page. If they did that already, you can actually say, and you can refine the action if they visit a specific, okay? So does not contain. And you can do that, you can do it on this one as well. So as long as the URL does not contain that specific URL, so let's say it was like /Google/thank you, if they visit that page, it won't include them in this search. So again, if you have a thank you page, just add that in there because they will already be a lead. Okay. So we're going to cancel the segment. Now that we have that, now we can go to campaigns, campaign, and we can actually start creating the ads. But before we create the campaign, again, we can create the campaign now. I want to go in here because we actually need to create the ads. See, unlike the catch ads, we have a minor issue. It's variable, very, very variable. So essentially, we can't just run homes for sale in X or houses for sale in X. We need to actually create the ads based on the pain points in each of your leads. So first off, if you're not familiar with marketing, what is a pain point? It's a reason someone buys. When someone buys something, they typically have some sort of pain. So like if you're going to buy a toothbrush, okay, it's because you need to brush your teeth. You're bad breath, you have a weird taste in your mouth, you have coffee breath, right? All of these things are a type of pain, and that's the pain point. And so first things first, highest converting pain points in order. And I've tested this with thousands upon thousands of dollars in ad spend. This is the order that we find we get the most converting. So it's affordability, financing confusion, closing frustrations, post-purchase regret, and then inventory and competition. So affordability is the one we're going to use today. That is the highest converting, and that one is actually by quite a bit. Highest converting pain point. So what I did here is I created a ChatGPT, essentially ChatGPT, that will allow us to generate ads like that. So what I want you to do is I want you to copy this, and it's in the cheat sheet. So if you copy here, and we're going to go in here, branding templates. So new, and I just copy and paste this in here, okay? So you are a professional Google Ads copywriter working for a real estate agent and brokerage. Your job is to help create performance max ads based on certain pain points. The ads need to use principles from cash advertising, gap selling, and Robert Cialdini's influence. You only create 15 headlines, 30 characters, 5 long headlines, 5 descriptions, 20 meme ideas, and 5 callouts, and 5 structured snippets. You'll be first allowed to ask 5 questions to get more information about the brokerage and pain point they will be targeting. After asking these questions, you can generate the ads. Okay, so we just copy paste, put her in. 5 essential. So now we just answer these. So what is your exact target audience? So the first one is, personally, I just like saying sellers, super simple. What is your core pain point or problem this audience is experiencing? So again, we'll say affordability. What is the unique value proposition or differentiator of your brokerage? So again, this is what is your brokerage unique to? You could say a hyper-local brokerage, sure, fine. You could say fast closings, fine, everyone says that. You could say exclusive listings, again, literally everyone says this. What makes your brokerage unique? Is it the 25 years of experience? Is it advanced marketing tactics? Like what specifically makes your brokerage unique? And we'll just say 25 years of experience as an example here. Next one, and I also want to put this out here. Make it as specific as possible, like really deep. What is your city or market? So in this instance, we'll just say Ashland, Wisconsin, because that's where Visions First is. Ashland/Northern. Roughly how many transactions has your brokerage closed in the last 12 months? We'll say, yeah, we'll say top Ashland agent. We'll say 75 5-star reviews and 150 homes sold. Perfect. Put that in, and it's going to give an ad set basically. So pain points, target audience, sellers, and all that. So to give us 15 headlines that we can copy and paste, and sometimes it's going to give us this. This is why we had it do the max. You can run emojis. I can't remember if you can actually put them in. I've never actually run emojis, but They'll give you 5 long headlines, 5 descriptions, and then meme ideas. And we're going to come back to this in a second. Because oddly enough, memes work really, really well for ads. They come off as just natural on the internet. They're what people think of when they think of the internet. Like, as much as I want to say, like, even as you're scrolling, say TikTok, Instagram, whatever, you'll just see static memes. Like, they're literally everywhere. And so it just comes off natural, right? So it comes up with 20 meme ideas, and we're gonna come back to this. We're gonna create the memes, and I'm gonna show you how to do that with ChatGPT, which is the really, really cool thing. Then we're gonna have 5 callouts and 5 structured snippets, and then psychological drivers. So right here, fear of loss, greed, simplicity. So this is like, what are the psychological triggers that it's doing? When we ask ChatGPT to use these principles, we ask ChatGPT to essentially say, what are the psychological things that people need to submit themselves as a lead form? So we trained it to be better. And so we can create additional variations, help write landing page copy. And this is totally a good idea. If you haven't actually written the landing page copy yet, or landing page text, feel free to do that, like right here. Go on. Design the meme image mockups for the top 5 meme ideas. Absolutely. Now, what I want to do here before we go into the memes is I actually want to put all of these into an ad set. So let's go here. So now we're actually going to create the campaign. I know we're jumping around. I know this is chaos. You may need to rewatch this a couple times. But what we've actually done is we've created the ads. Okay. We haven't created the physical like images of the ads yet, but we have created the ads themselves. So I want to get that in before we go back and then proceed to create the images, because that's the hard part. So let's go in here. And this is exactly what we did before, basically, with a couple minor tweaks. So again, we're going to hit create campaign, hit new campaign. Then we're going to hit leads. And we're going to hit performance max, generate leads by reaching the right people. So this is where we're just going to put the final URL. And again, I'm just going to assume it's Conrad. So one thing that you can also do is, if you are an analytics person and you really like analytics, you can add this tag. So question mark UTM underscore source equals, and then whatever you want to put here. So and this equals like slash Google ad or slash Google or whatever. And on your website, it'll now log when someone clicks that as whatever the message after is, like Google, Google ad, whatever. We're gonna put campaign. We're gonna put PMAX ad or Amplify. Click continue. So you can do form submission on your ads, phone calls from ads, sign up, setup. So setup. Basically, if you don't have conversion tracking set up, you will need to. Again, I would love to walk you guys through this on this, but there's so many different management systems that allow you to do this. I physically couldn't. Again, I highly recommend just going to Google and looking up how to set up conversion tracking on your specific thing. There's stuff for, again, KV Core / Bold Trail, Sierra Interact, like literally you name it, it's there. Like iHouse Web, everything. So again, campaign name, we'll just say Amplify number 1. Okay. So now we're testing for conversions. Cost per conversion is estimated to be $17.73. We'll go through this as we go. Click next. So locations. This is where we want to do exactly what we did before on the catch ads. Except we're not using keywords. We want to use these negative locations. This is really, really important. We're going to do enter location. And I want you to go through and just copy all of these. I don't know if it'll let me. Can't remember. No, it's not going to let me. I'm going to have to do it one by one. But basically, just go through all of these. So we're going to say India, exclude. Pakistan, exclude. Okay. So now we've gone through all these, we need to exclude all of them. But now we want to target our area and even like a little bit outside. So in this case, he's in Ashland, Wisconsin. So I like to target by counties. So we're going to do Wisconsin counties. Again, you should know your counties. In my instance, I just do so many throughout the states. I usually need a reference. We'll go here. Okay, so he's up here. He's in Ashland, Bayfield, and Ashland is located right here. So he likely wants to do Douglas, Bayfield, Ashland, Iron, Washburn, Sawyer. So these are kind of these are the four they want. So we'll say Douglas County, Wisconsin, Ashland County, Wisconsin, Bayfield County, Wisconsin, Douglas, Iron, Sawyer, Washburn. Shit, how do I spell Sawyer? Okay, so now we have all of the surrounding counties in there. The reach, all of that. Then we're going to want to scroll down. You can leave that. You can go through more settings. So one thing that I recommend on here, especially if on this campaign, is you can go into ad schedule and you can create a schedule. So you will only get leads during certain times of day effectively. So if you want to say like, I don't know, like I would say 6 a.m., like just do your waking hours effectively. You don't want to do a working day because a lot of people are actually going to be browsing for houses after that. Just do the hours that you're awake so that you can respond in a reasonable time frame to the essentially the leads. Now, this is where it can generate ad sets for us. It does. And we're going to want to go through and essentially copy and paste everything that we have here. Sell and save thousands, maximize your home's value. And so the really, really interesting thing here is these essentially ads are going to test I just want to make this very clear. These ads essentially A/B test or test out all of these to find out which headline, which description, all of that are the best, period. And so what ends up happening is just the more the better, which is why I want you to do 15. Realistically, I'm just going to be honest with you, the first week is going to suck. You're basically just going to throw ad spend at this, and it's going to figure out who, why, what, all of that jazz. And so what'll happen is it'll figure out, okay, so we need to show these ads to these people and these ads to these people. And then your conversions will start slowly but surely getting better. And then you're going to quickly realize that these leads are so cheap comparatively, you just kind of had to bear the upfront cost, which sucks. I'm not going to lie to you. I wish you didn't. Like, I've been there too. I'm just saying, just curb your expectations on this a little bit because you will likely lose money the first week or so. Oh. There we go. Okay, perfect. So now we go through. We got to do the long headlines as well. And feel free to just skip through this as well. But you can just copy and paste all these. And I want to make this clear as well. I would remove these. I'm not going to just for time's sake, but the little dashes they just screen ChatGPT. So a lot of times when I'm doing these for clients, I will remove those just to make it a little bit better. And then you can also add logos in here. Just add your logo. I'm gonna be honest, like it's that easy. Add the business name. So again, this place would be Visions First Realty. Videos, you can add videos if you want. In this specific ad, I find that it performs better if you don't have site links, like oddly enough. Again, you can add callouts and structured snippets. Those are all in here as well. So callouts, structured snippets. Okay. Now, the hard part, these memes. Okay, so I'll just minimize this. If I go in here, so we need to create images. So how do we actually create these images? Come in here, Amplify ads. We conveniently create a ChatGPT prompt. Now, I want to preface this as well. If you have a graphic designer, please hire them to do these memes, please. If you do not, just use ChatGPT. I personally have a graphic designer. I use that for all of mine. I just ChatGPT them, figure out what memes we like the best, and then we bring in the graphic designer to pretty them up. So that's probably the easiest. But if you are a solo agent or a smaller brokerage, please use this ChatGPT prompt, and I'll show you how to tweak it as we go. Okay, so we'll do new chat. And just do, yeah, okay, we're good. So we want to go in here and we want to pick one. So in this instance, I'm just going to pick one, crying cat meme when you realize you underpriced your home. And what we want to do first, actually, is give it essentially images to train itself on. Sorry. So in this instance, I already grabbed 3 from my downloads. Just screenshot your website, grab your logo, grab just essentially a bunch of marketing tools that you have for like Facebook, whatever. Throw them on here. Give it as many as you can. And then just let the prompt run. Okay. So as you can see, now it's going to train itself on the branding provided. So here are the key takeaways from the memes: brand colors, fonts, visual style, key phrases. Okay. Next, meme, crying cat caption when you realize you're home. So put that in. And now what it's going to do is it's going to generate an image. Now, to be totally honest, probably like 2 in 3 of these, so a majority of them suck. But you can tweak it and you can play with ChatGPT until it gets it right. And I'll show you kind of how. Let's see what this comes up with. And for each of these ads, I'm going to be honest, I would just pick the top 5. Just pick the top 5 and then create those. So we'll do all 5 here and go through. But what we're going to want to do is create multiple as well. We're going to do 5 essentially for affordability, 5 for essentially whatever other pain points. So like post-purchase regret, that type of thing. And we're going to create 5 graphics for each of them and ads for each of them. And the reason being is it's just more data for Google to test. Your ads are going to take a little bit longer to be profitable, but they're going to be way, way cheaper in the long run. Think about it this way. If you test 100 things, one of them is bound to do good, right? Like it's statistically really improbable if you test 100 different things. Look at that. This one's actually really good. So it's the crying cat image, and then when you realize you underpriced your home. So we'll save that one here. Now we'll give it another meme, and we'll just keep going through. So I'm going to do 5 of these. I mean, copy. So you're distracted. Drake format's good. And so once we have the ad, I'm just going to let that run. We can go just add images, upload, and then just upload it from your computer. Okay, so it's going to crop it into different things. Give it a sec. So you have different, essentially, uh, styles. So I guess croppings. And this is for different areas. So as you can see, this one doesn't fit well there, doesn't fit well on that, but it fits well on the square. So you're going to get memes of essentially different types, some vertical, some horizontal, some squares. And you want to make sure that if it can fit multiple of these, it will be cropped to that because you want to test the memes on as many things as possible. So let's see what this one comes up with. So this one's horizontal. Okay, perfect. So this one's a little bit wonky. So selling selling a loan or a cheap agent? No. Top Ashland agent? Yes. So we'll just say make it horizontal and make the text smaller. And we'll just see if that'll work. It'll let it. I don't know if ChatGPT's breaking. All right. If that happens, by the way, and it just gives you the stop, just refresh the page. It works. Okay, so now I got the meme. And it's not perfect, but it's pretty darn good. So we can use this one again, and I'm going to show you how we can crop it. So we'll throw this in here. We'll get horizontal. And it should auto crop. Yep, so it auto cropped to a bunch. So I click on here, this one, selling agent, top agent. It's still a little bit off. Still a little bit off. Basically, what you're going to need to do is you're going to need to adjust it. I would honestly, I would run this here. And then if you can get this to work, yeah, I would just cut this and this. But you'll just need to tweak it so it need to be more horizontal, but you can just keep testing the memes basically until you get 5 that work. So we'll do one more here as an example. Which one do we want? We'll do the group plan. So we'll throw this one in here. And again, we're just essentially creating memes until we have 5 of the different sections. So we have horizontal, vertical, square. And again, I need to preface this. These memes do not need to be perfect. We are simply testing them before we make them super nice. Once you test them and you figure out which memes are the best, and you're starting to make money with them, I would go and hire a graphic designer. Okay? Because what'll happen now is we figure out which ones are the best. Now they're going to be prettier and they're going to convert slightly better. So that little bit that you spent on a graphic designer for those is going to be 100% worth it. But if you spend a graphic designer on all of them upfront, especially if you have low ad spend, it's just simply not worth it. Okay? All right, so this is another really good one. Hire a random agent, sell slow, lose equity. So this one is legitimately the epitome of pain point. Like it swings into the pain point. So it's not even talking about you. It's talking specifically to them about the agent and how it hurts. Okay, so it hurts to hire just some random agent. So we'll throw this one in here as vertical. Hopefully it's the right dimensions. Let's see. We can use this one perfectly, so that square works. And if we want to do all 3, we just do this. Just get a 3. And again, it doesn't need to be perfect, right? Like people are going to accept the fact that it isn't cropped perfectly. Like this just shows up literally everywhere, and most people will click on the ad anyways. So I can't stress this enough about the ads. These memes don't need to be perfect. They're not intentionally super flashy. And these memes, if you want to maintain branding, again, like hire a graphic designer, make it look super pretty. But if you're not as worried about branding, especially like small brokerages are, you're more worried about leads and getting people through the door. Just essentially make it work. So we'll do that example. And that's what we need to do for these ads. So we set that up, and then we need to set up signals and then audiences. So this is the last part of the Amplify ads. So what I would highly recommend is ask ChatGPT for just a list of different things based on the pain points. So we said affordability. Okay. So what would people be searching for if they're looking for affordability? So if I go back here, we say we now need 25 search themes. what it's called, search themes for the ads. So what this is going to do is now, basically it's fastest way to sell your home, Ashland, Wisconsin. And I would honestly say you don't even need to worry about that. I would just say remove the Ashland, Wisconsin. And reason being is we already know that they're searching in our location because they were searching for homes that's in our area. That's why. Let's just paste here. So now we have 25. And just leave that in there. That's perfect. Now, what we want to do is we want to have an audience. What was that one called? We call it retargeting. Search browse. Yeah, okay, perfect. So Google Engage Audiences. This is the default one. So just add that in there for your data. So this is just going to say these are all the website visitors that came from the other Google ads. Okay. So now we have the audience signals. That's good. We can add names, all of that good jazz, and additional signals if needed. Okay. So one thing that I will say is you can add the interest in detailed demographics. I wouldn't, because if you don't know what you're doing, there's a high probability that you essentially get fired, right? You have the FHA, all that good jazz. You have the Fair Housing Act. So you need to understand that that's going to restrict what you can do. And that, like, this is very carefully designed to get around that. If you start adding random interest in detailed demographics that you don't know, or even could potentially target someone in the Fair Housing Act, okay? You don't want to do that. So I play around with it. I wouldn't, especially if this is your first time, but you can. So I'm going to click next. Click a daily budget. We'll just say 20. Oh, what am I missing? Did I add the logo or something? Oh, okay. I'm gonna say forward. Or is it? I knew it couldn't. Is that better? Okay, that should be good now. Ferguson budget, we'll just say 10, 20 a day. Average $12 cost per conversion. Multiple asset groups. At least one logo. Yeah. Okay. I'll add that in here. We'll upload. Okay, we'll just add it. We'll just say this is the logo for now. Anyway, just add your logo. Once that's good, then we can go through. There we go. Next, finish it up. I wouldn't add site links as much as it thinks it helps. Like, this is a good recommendation, but I would say the site links, it just doesn't make sense. Okay, we also need a landscape, but basically you can go through and you can just hit done. I'll just assume one is landscape again. I'll just select that. Oh, there we go. Much better. We'll just go through. But yeah, make sure you have names for all the different sizes. Go through, click publish. So now the first campaign is actually running. We'll just wait a second on this. So now they're going to go for review. Now, I will say this, especially with performance max campaigns, they're not as instant as search campaigns. So your catch ads, those will probably be reviewed within an hour or two. These ones, it usually takes about a day before they're approved. Again, you should have all this. We're just going to show my options, test installation. We'll just ignore this. We'll go past this. So now we have our Amplify ads. And in here, if you just click on here, this is asset groups as well. So you can hit asset groups instead of campaign. You can add more asset groups. And this is where you're actually going to add the pain points, or where I recommend it. So let's just say I want to add a new asset group. We can go in, we'll have to add the search themes and all of that first, and then it'll allow us to add and build the ads. So let's just say we're doing a different pain point. I'll just paste it back in here. And we can just say again, sellers, say selling quickly. What is your brokerage's unique advantage? I'll just say 25 years of experience. We'll just copy these. What? 300 homes sold or whatever. Okay, so now it's going to do the exact same thing, and we can essentially repeat the process for a new pain point. Sell fast, move faster. And I would do this for about 5 ads, to be totally honest with you. Okay, so about 5 ads. So if I go in here and I will show you, do I have counter down here? No, okay. I'm going to switch accounts. Oh man, please play this. I don't know the password. Okay, anyhow, that's redundant. I was just going to show you guys what it looks like on a running account. But basically, you're going to have 5 of these. And if you go into table, it'll show you the cost conversion rate conversions. So again, if I go back, so if I go to campaigns, asset group, and you're testing a bunch of these, so everything summary, hit table, and scroll all the way to the right, your cost per conversion is what you want to measure. So now what you can do, you can test all of the different pain points with all of the different ads, and you'll know which one's actually converting at a cheaper rate. And so now every 2 weeks, 3 weeks, you can just pause the ads that aren't converting the best and leave the rest of them running. So again, I would have shown you all that on Conrad, but I don't have the password to the team account right now handy. So that being said, that's how you create the Amplify ads. Okay. So we're past the hard part. You've created your Amplify ads, you've created the catch ads, and we now need to go on to nurture, which is the last section of this course. All right, so we just finished up this Amplify section, and we're now ready to move on to the nurture section. So what actually happens after a lead comes in? After they submit themselves, they're like, hey, I am ready to work with a real estate agent. What happens? So we're over the nurture section. This is going to be shorter, so we're kind of on trickling down here. Catch and the Amplify are probably the 2 hardest part of this. So now we need to use the skills that we already have as real estate agents, as salespeople, to follow up, to nurture the email SMS flows. And again, I have all of this in the Cannes Google Ad course, buyers and seller scripts, basically just buyer and seller reciprocity scripts. What we should be looking for, appointment mets, me with just kind of benchmarks here. Simple graph for it, what we should be going for, and the scripts. So all of it is in here, top to bottom. What do we say? How do we say it? Voicemails, texts. All of this can be automated. If you have KV Core, if you have CR Interactive, we will go through and automate it. So the buyer and the seller scripts are effectively the same in the sense of how their psychology works. So I want to walk you through each of these sections. So first off, sellers. We'll just go through sellers just because, well, I think most of you want seller leads, to be completely frank. So let's go through. Let's just make this a little bit bigger. So first off, I call this the cup of coffee script. It's not perfect because every single area is different, okay? If you can adjust this script to make it tailored to your specific market, you are golden. Now, the psychology in why we say each individual part is the same. We need to create urgency, we need to create scarcity, and we need to give them value for reciprocity. So urgency, scarcity, and reciprocity. Those are the 3 main ones that I want you to focus on. So first off, first phone call, we'll just say, hey, Chris. Hey, Chris, quick question for you. Are you thinking about selling your home, or were you just curious about its value? This is gauging interest level. how ready are they to actually buy? If they submitted the lead form, they said they want to work with a realtor. You want to figure out if they are just browsing, if they are just, hey, I'm potentially throwing around the idea of selling my home, or if they are actually ready to list. So if they're just curious, totally understand. A lot of homeowners start here. I help sellers figure out what their home is worth and the best way to maximize their sale. Would you like me to send over a quick home value report? Just send them a simple PDF. All of that's done. You don't have to think about it again. And potentially, if they're looking to sell, ask them if they want to be on an automated MLS drip, kind of the price points, because most sellers are also going to be buyers in the future. You want to prime them to be ready for both. I don't know about you, but I like being on both sides of the transaction. Simple. Next one, they say, yes, I'm looking to sell. Great. I'd love to sit down for a quick cup of coffee and talk through what's going on in the market and how we can get you the best price for your home. There's no pressure. It's just an easy way to get started. Does either this or this day work for you? Now, this is important. People freeze up when they're given too many options. Here, you're giving them two options. Makes it simple. They go, does either Monday or Wednesday work? Oh, Wednesday is better. Okay. Does 10 a.m. or 5 p.m. work? Perfect. Good to go. So you want to use that dichotomy psychology in here. Okay. So, hey, yeah, great. I'd love to sit down for a quick cup of coffee, talk what's going on in the market, either best price for home. Again, no pressure. This is just an easy way to get started. Does either this day or this day work for you? Now, if they decline, email the resources and end the call warmly. You always want to be the person to end the call, be the person to hang up. Okay, that's very important. Next, voicemail. If they do not respond, hey, so-and-so, this is Andrew. I just wanted to quickly reach out because I saw you were looking into your home's value or looking to work with a realtor. Just curious, curious if you are actually thinking about selling or just looking kind of home value. Totally understand if you're exploring. Most homeowners start there. If it helps, I'm happy to send over a quick home value report with insights on your neighborhood in the market. Again, if you're considering selling, I'd be happy to grab a quick cup of coffee, go over options. No pressure, just useful info. So either Monday or Thursday next week work for you. So simple, right? Like you're using the same psychology. Next, we want to do the exact same thing here. Basically that in a text and then that in an email. So we're trying to say, hey, we're here. Basically, we're doing no pressure. And what we're trying to do is we're trying to build pressure. Okay? Build, climax, cut. Okay? Text 2, this is a soft follow-up. Hey, sent over some helpful resources today on selling your home. If you're still thinking about it, happy to grab a cup of coffee and answer questions. Let me know if that works. And you want to send this at the same time as this. So, hey, figured I'd send over a quick video walking you through the selling process and answering some common questions. Check it out here. And you can do a Loom video or you can record a YouTube video or something along those lines. If you're not familiar with what a Loom video is, it's loom.com right here. Highly recommend getting it. It's free for the first bit. Basically, you just install it as a Chrome extension and you're able to record videos. So basically just record a simple 5-minute video walking through the process of selling. It's a Loom video. Again, I know it can seem scary, it can seem taunting. I'm happy to send over video scripts. Actually, there is a video script in here. I'll just give you a quick little overview. Basically, hey, Andrew here, saw you were looking at your home's value and wanted to send over quick. I know selling a home can feel overwhelming, pricing, staging, blah, 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 blah. Basically just getting the super simple video of just a little bit of value, giving them a short little overview. That's all you want, okay? Okay, email 2, done. Now I want to go on to email 3. Basically saying, hey, just following up. You don't necessarily need to say just following up. Basically, again, it's no pressure yet. You just want to make sure you had a chance to think about grabbing that cup of coffee. No rush at all, just here to help. If you need anything, does either X or X day work for you? Again, same thing. Did you get a chance? Text script, hey, last text from me. I know you're busy, so am I. Just wanted to check in. If no pressure, just happy to hear if you're help. Why are we doing this? Why are we saying it's the final text? Because it builds pressure. They know it's the last time you're going to text them. They don't have to worry about it. They need to know that you are a busy real estate agent, that you actually have things to do. Okay? You can't just coddle them all day. Let's be honest. Again, you're a real estate agent. You need to make that clear. You are scarce. Your time is valuable. They need to come now. Okay, so scarcity and urgency, check. Okay, and we already built the reciprocity up here. Okay, text is perfect. Figured to send this over. We're building even more reciprocity. So I figured I'd send over a few trusted vendors. Stagers, photographers, handymen for quick. Super simple, happy to connect you. This line right here is what matters. Happy to connect you. Give the names, but do not give the phone number or the email, okay? You want to say, I am happy to connect you. Why? Because now they're going to reply to the email, and they're interested again. Saying, hey, I'm interested, okay? Light hand raiser. Last email, just saying last one, hey, just quick note, last email as well. I know selling your home is a big decision, totally respect your timeline. If you ever need help, want to grab a cup of coffee or have questions, feel free to reach out. Otherwise, best of luck with everything. Why does this flow work? Super simple. So we start at the beginning, no pressure. We build pressure. We say, we can't help you anymore. Offer one more reciprocity. Boom. Close everything off. So with that, within 2 weeks, we can get to know if they're actually serious or if they're just perusing whatever. So you as an agent don't need to waste your time. A 5-minute phone call will suffice and everything else can be automated. So that is the buyer and seller reciprocity scripts. That is the nurture section. And again, we have the exact same thing for buyers with a Loom video baked in. If you need help creating a Loom video, shoot me a message. And this is kind of what we're going for. So context here. So 67% should set an appointment if we do this properly. Again, not everyone is an amazing salesperson. Not everyone gets this right away. So if you're getting 20% to 40%, that's totally fine. Don't worry about it. Next one is you want to meet with 45%. Let's be honest, a lot of people are going to set appointments and not show up. That's the nature of things, just how it goes. So where are that? You'll get 30%, you'll show homes, or you will potentially list their home. Again, listings are going to be lower than 30%. 10% for buyers are going to submit offers, and then about 7-ish% are going to convert, we'll say. Okay. So those are the goals. Again, buyer and seller reciprocity scripts. Those are the goals, scarcity, urgency, and reciprocity. And that is the nurture section. I will also have some more scripts as well in there as we go through. So now I wanted to give you like an actual tangible example to kind of round out this tutorial. So this is Conrad, one of the clients, and this is basically the exact numbers that they're getting and just kind of the back end that I'm seeing. So if you ever think you're priced out of the market, think again, find a new agent, gets creative. Again, I already kind of walked you guys through this. So pretty simple, the exact same framework, case study, like step by step. Okay. Pretty simple. And then they have this form here. And you can go through it. And again, it'll depend on your CMS or whatever you're editing, but that type of thing. So actually, I'm going to close this. So this is kind of what you're looking at. Then over here, we have the leads. And so I want to point this out. They're essentially like really, really vetting the leads a lot. So they're using AI to confirm, to double check leads. So how much are they? And again, this is factoring for AI. This is factoring for verified email. This is like literally everything. So if I go in here, they double check the consumer email and the phone number, double check, and it'll filter out bots and all this. And most of these like aren't even bots. They are honestly just like not great leads. So it'll filter out all that. Like these are top of the line leads, like basically Zillow Premier style leads. And so I kind of blacked this out because I don't want to show you all of their numbers, but their average lead cost right now is $43 for these qualified leads or the leads that are really, really good. If it's just normal leads, it's half that. So if we do this divided by this, yeah, it's $22 a lead. And we're seeing as low as, like I said, $14 per lead. And I can show you that as well if I show you Legendary. So this is their ads. Again, show you, this is just factoring since the 3rd because we track it by week to show an improvement every single week. And then conversions are set up for something different. You guys don't need to know that. That's why I didn't show you this dashboard on them. That's what it is. If I show you, say, Legendary Real Estate, which is another client of ours, they have $13.22 cost per conversion, so $14. And they had $18,230 since, again, July 3rd, so same timing, basically. So I'm just prefacing this, like, these ads do work, and they're getting high quality leads like this. Like, I'll give you a good example. 2-story house with a full-size basement. I want a front porch, a back porch. I need a backyard to be fenced in. I want a 2-car garage. Super, super like detailed lead. No desired location, warm up. Faye, we verified their email, their phone, and their price range. And then 1 to 3 months, multifamily to buy. So all of these are, like I said, super high quality leads that you can get for $14 effectively. And you just have to learn this tutorial, this style, the CANS framework with the memes, with the ads. And this is how you get those high quality leads. So with that being said, this is the end. This is finishing up the tutorial. So if you guys have any questions, please feel free to grab my email from YouTube or go on my LinkedIn, DM me there, whatever you need. And I'm looking forward to seeing what you guys do.